Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Shawning. We have the incense burning, the camera is rolling, and that means it's time to talk about some scary stuff. Today, I thought it would be really fun to talk about guilty pleasure horror movies. Guilty pleasure horror movies are, well, very simply, they're horror movies that you enjoy that are not necessarily good in the eyes of the horror community. Let's take a look at my top 5 favorite guilty pleasure horror movies. Like always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also go follow my Instagram, the_Shawning_77 for more creepy stuff, I guess. These are in no particular order, except for number 1. Number 1 is there for a reason. So, shall we begin? We have Puppet Master, okay? These movies, they're rough, okay? They're cheesy, and there's like 9 of them, okay? I grew up watching Puppet Master. So, naturally, even though I'm older now and I've seen much better quality horror movies, I still keep going to that one. It's just a really fun story. Puppets are creepy anyway, but these puppets are kind of cool because they all have their own unique, I guess, power, not power, but ability, or whatever you want to call it. It is super outlandish, but that's the fun part about it. So, Puppet Master is great. I mean, if you don't believe me, just take a look for yourself. The next one on the list is a Stephen King. Well, it's not a Stephen King film, but it is based off of a Stephen King film, Pet Sematary 2. This movie is so fun. I mean, it's pure 90s all the way. You have Edward Furlong, who is, he's awesome. Oh, good old Clancy Brown. I love Clancy Brown in this movie. He is really creepy, but the reason I like Clancy Brown in Pet Sematary 2 is because he reminds me so much of good old Judd Crandall in the original, in the voice mainly. It's cheesy, it's goofy, but it's a fun watch. And if you have not watched Pet Sematary 2, please go get it. It's literally like $5 max, okay? And if you're paying more than that, don't. You're getting robbed. It has very loose connection to the original. I've talked about it before. More than likely, I'll have to do a full-on video because there is a lot going on here. This movie has a really cool way of teaching you table manners. Okay. Now look, I understand that there is a lot of the Halloween franchise that is not good, and I understand that. However, Halloween 5 is amazing, and that is why it's number 3 on this list. Because I watch Halloween 5 probably more than I ever need to. I mean, you get the flare neck Michael Myers mask, which, who doesn't love that, right? And you get to see Michael Myers just tumble down a river, and it's the best thing ever. It's a win-win. We get these wonderful police officers.
All clear.
Nothing above, nothing below.
What's there not to love about Halloween 5? The answer is everything is to love about Halloween 5. Moving on to the Friday the 13th franchise, part, drumroll, 7, okay? 7's my lucky number. B, this movie's great. It's literally like if you put Friday the 13th, good old Jason Voorhees versus Carrie. Just water it down a little bit, no pun intended. It's fun, okay? The acting is goofy. I think the girl's name is, what is it, Melissa? Even though I've watched this movie 100 times, I try to block her out because she really does get on my nerves. Or Marissa, I think that was her name. She's terrible. Ew. She got what she needed. I think this movie is super fun. And it has my favorite Jason resurrection scene ever. I mean, what's there not to love? I'm actually not gonna do number 1 quite yet. We're gonna have an honorable mention just to build the suspense for number 1. Bride of Chucky. Okay, I don't know why. I don't. Bride of Chucky is just one of those movies that for some reason, and I can't quite put my finger on it, I just don't know why it keeps me so entertained. Once every 2 months, at least. Again, I think it's just because it has that like late 90s, like early 2000s grungy vibe to it. And I don't know. I love it. Now, however, Seed of Chucky is trash. Now that I just got out all that negative energy talking about Seed of Chucky, let's go to number 1. Stephen King's It. This is my favorite movie of all time, okay? And yes, it is cheesy. It is ridiculously long, okay? However, it has Tim Curry, and no one speaks bad about Tim Curry, at least not around me. I grew up with this movie. I own this movie 5 different times. Yeah, I have seen this movie literally probably over 1,000 times, and nobody's gonna argue that point. It's not in this house anyway. The acting is really not that bad. I think the child actors in this movie did phenomenal. The adult actors, not as awesome, but they're still awesome. It's Seth Green. Come on. John Ritter, okay? Annette O'Toole.
I worry about you, Bevy. I worry a lot.
It's great, but it's cheesy. It is cornball as can be. No, I don't like the big spider at the end, but the movie's so cheesy, you just gotta love it. I mean, for example, let's talk about the funky claymation we got to see. How can you not love this?
This is a little inconvenient, Eddie. Just hold on while I make a few adjustments. Here I am, Wheezy.
Those are just my guilty pleasure horror movies. I would love for you to tell me some of yours. If there's some that you'd like me to talk about in a video, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear them. I would love to watch them if I haven't. And who knows, maybe I'll find one that I like for myself. Give me movie suggestions. I need more. Don't forget, hey, you keep watching scary movies. I'll keep talking about them. Keep it creepy.